I would say there's just a lack of consistency, right? There's some things that really stand out that are good, but then, and that's really been the battle through all the years of coaching O-line, is really a great O-line is a consistent O-line. And so that's the thing that we got to be, whether we're fighting the elements, ourselves, or the D, right? It's about being consistent. So that's what I want to see from them. I want to see better consistency.
How has Caden really just came in and just kind of know he was at Iowa, came back, he missed the spring, but how is he maybe just embracing learning the system and maybe just getting adjusted to everything?
I think he's been great. Work ethic's been off the charts. Open to coaching, learning. He's working on his own. He lives with Wilkins, so they're watching extra film, they're quizzing, doing all the things that you want them to do. So I've been really pleasantly surprised at just how eager he has been to learn and jump in. It's been great.
How happy were you to be able to get Gino after coaching him? He's a familiar face. What does he add to that?
Yeah, that was big for us in the sense that, when we lost Brockermeyer, just the stability of having, guys that have been through the fire that can play, and then you add that competition. And the good thing about a guy like Gino is he can play all three interior spots. So it gives you another center and another guard, right? That's done it in the Big Ten. So it was huge to have him. He knows what to expect out of me. Half of what we're doing is what I've always done. Another half is kind of what Coach brought. So he's learning some things too, but it was huge to have him here.
You talked in the spring about having a certain amount of people that can snap the ball. He's one of them.
Absolutely.
I think we saw Rock Montgomery, obviously Parker. Yep. Is there anybody else besides those three that you're kind of looking?
Well, you got Joe Ionato snapping.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then, Will Sanders snaps. We've had Olas has been snapping, right? And then we got a couple of the younger kids. But in a typical year, when like when we get into next spring, we'll probably have 8 to 10 kids snapping year round. Booker, he snaps, right? He snapped all summer. So it's just, I learned my lesson. You can't have enough of them. I lost 3 in a week at North Carolina, and I thought I was really good with 4, and I wasn't. So I said, that's it. From now on, I'm training 8 to 10 guys. Plus, for them and their futures, it's huge. It's one of the first questions I ever hear from an NFL scout. Can he snap? I can say yes. They've been doing it, even if they're not doing it live scenarios, and then when they grab them in their pro days or whatever, then it's nothing for them. So it's good for all of us.
Do you guys set aside time for maybe Parker and Jalen to build the chemistry? That's something that struggled last year on this team. Is there set-in times, or that's something they do on their own?
Well, we got pockets during practice where they're together, but then it's something that we want them to do on their own. That's something that I've been working hard in the offseason with my room, is just these guys building relationships and bonding with each other outside the football field, and nothing to do with football. This old line room's got to be the closest knit group there is. So that's something we're doing as a whole team. We've done a lot of things as a team too to get them in those situations.
How handy has Parker been too for helping out the rest of the line? You said kind of getting those things from Coach.
Well, especially when we first got here, right? I mean, when we first got here, before I even got here, he grabbed the guys that Booker had them come over to the house, and they were going over everything. And then the transition when Coach Huff left and I came in, he was a valuable piece for me. So it's always really good to have somebody that has that experience in their offense, which is ours now.
You're asked about Caden, but what have you seen from the tackles as a whole? Just as a group?
Again, I'm getting back to that consistency thing, right? Proctor does some really good things. Pritchett's really improved. Wilkin has improved. Miles is coming off being banged up a little bit and showing some progress. Naquil's doing some things. But again, who are the guys that are going to be consistent enough that we can say, hey, we can really trust them? And maybe it's more than 2, which would be great. I have no problem rotating a guy in if he's earned it.
You mentioned the consistency. Is that common this time of year for every team, or is it more of a
absolutely? That's I think every O-line coach, if you ask them, that's the thing that you're trying to build. That the chemistry with each other, but you're also rotating guys, so they got to get used to working with each other. And for the big guys, man, you're out here in the heat and you're battling them, right? The mental toughness and everything that comes with it. It's as hard as they work in the summer, are strength coaches, and they're in great shape. You can't get into this football shape, right, where you can't simulate 300-plus guys pushing around 300-plus guys for 2.5 hours, right? So that's just something that they have to adjust to, and the better ones will do it quicker.
I feel Casey Poe has developed since the spring. How's he adjusting to SEC football?
Yeah, Casey's coming along. He's a young kid. He's still got to continue to grow. We've asked him to play multiple positions, so that's a challenge for him, but he's been able to handle it, so I've been pleased with his progress. He's a guy that you're counting on to continue to develop and be able to help this program in a big way.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.